the fuck? Me and the boys getting ready for school. Hey guys, welcome to this new video, where I'll be documenting my team's 2 practice jams. During these jams we learned a lot, and I would love to share all of it with you guys. I definitely recommend you to stick around the video till the end if you are interested in joining a game jam, as I'll be telling you everything I learned in these practice sessions. Let's not wait any longer and let's dive right into it.
And it's going to involve you being like a crown, and you have to take over other enemies being that crown. Once you are on them, you basically take over their ability or take over their body, and when you switch to a new one, you keep that power. Narratively, we basically decided these could be like dukes and things under some evil king that's keeping a princess.
For the first jam we started strong. We started with a concept named crowns. We went through a lot of brainstorming and we ended with the idea of having a crown possess different enemies and use them to fight each other. I quickly started on development of some of the simple main things when our team got established. But on the first line of code I already messed up. This was my first jam and I stressed out a little and completely forgot how to load scenes. I had to actually look it up to how to load scenes, as I just couldn't find how to load the next scene and I just completely forgot it. When I finally got the scene loader ready, I started on simple character movement using a pre-made sprite we downloaded before the jam. After some tweaks made by a partner developer, we got really nice character movement done. Now it was time to make AI. Alright, so now I need to have like a little mechanic to hit someone probably? Like hit someone and... Alright, so I need to make an AI now. And it was a mess. Before the jam, I always counted on A-star pathfinding to easily help me out during this jam, but that wasn't the case at all. I thought just drag and drop and it would work. Well, not at all. I ended up having to write the entire pathfinding script, still with help from A-star, to make the enemy move. But at that point I spent around 1 of my 4 hours just messing with AI. But I finally got it working and I was really happy.
Okay.
Yes! Haha! I got it, dude. I got it.
Okay, wait. What did you do?
I
also fixed it in a different way.
Great. Alright, bulwark. You fixed it too. Damn it. But in the end we finally fixed it. But we couldn't stop there. At this point things went really downhill in productivity, as we ended up wasting 2 hours. It wasn't all wasted, but it was still wasted. We ended up polishing and working on completely unnecessary things like the end boss for the second world and the animations and effects, which were completely unrelated to the game to finish, because we didn't even finish the first boss. I started making a jump knight which had the ability to jump. This was the second boss, so like I said before, it was completely unnecessary to our game. Meanwhile, our artist, who calls himself Coffee Blend, worked on art, and he sent me a vault of his working process. He works mostly on the characters and the animations, and he created a crown which would later be implemented by the second developer. But man, this guy worked fast. It was really damn impressive. After that I skipped a big bunch in this video, because like I said before, there was a lot of time wasted. A time polishing and doing useless stuff, and the end result, we didn't really get anything at all. The video I'm about to show you isn't really everything we had. There was a lot more, but this was basically at the end of the jam. This was basically what we had. If we would have published, this was the thing. The The day after, we, the devs, decided to continue for a little longer, focusing on gameplay and practicing a little bit more about prioritizing the main mechanics and gameplay, and nothing else. This way we only focused on getting simple mechanics going, and 2 hours later we finished something actually playable, but it was still not a full game, of course. So, for the review. We had some major talking points and we learned a lot. This was our first actual jam and we underestimated the pressure and time constraint. We as the development team took way too much work on our shoulders with the current experience we had in game jams. But of course I also have to say the musicians and artists did really well under pressure, and within the time constraint they did some amazing work. But in the end it all comes down to development bringing everything to life and everything together, and we really underestimated our position as the developers. It is very important to know your priorities up front and don't get distracted or shaken off. So, what do you do first when you make a ground controlling enemies? You create 2 moving AI and a ground to control them. This does not mean set animations, player deaths, making a nice world or smooth controls. This all doesn't matter at all, your main mechanic is important and that has to be done first.
The current mechanics we had are basically you destroy a house, and that's pretty much it. You just keep destroying houses. Top down, move around like WASD, kind of move the tornado around. When you are over a house, maybe after a short delay, it'll become destroyed, like play the destroy animation or however we do that, but otherwise it'll just be destroyed.
For Jam 2 we started even stronger, getting everything ready. We had some problems along the way, mostly involving Unity collab due to our pushes resetting each other, and it really messed up productivity a lot. Also, both of us not caring about team code was a huge deal when we were working together, but I'll tell you all the solutions and all the things we learned at the end of this part. We started again brainstorming, this time around the theme wind, and we ended up with the concept of a raging tornado flying around and destroying everything. The concept was something new for all of us, but we quickly adapted to it. I started off by looking into explosions in Unity to easily blow away destroyed houses using 3D components. This was actually really easy, so we instantly could continue on other mechanics. Now I had to polish the effect some more by preventing explosions to hit the tornado, give houses some health and stuff like that. But then fate struck and I almost died due to a stupid joke.
Okay, Mom.
Bye, Mom. I'm working.
Mom, I'm playing Minecraft.
I was drinking, dude.
That's the work you killed Dan.
I did it. This has been my goal the whole time.
No.
No, mommy. Just I would die. Oh,
You okay?
no.
Imagine Bulwark actually killed Dan and then he had to take over all the development.
Meanwhile, Coffee Blend was working really hard on different sprites, like the tornado, that would of course function as the player. Even though we took these jams really serious, we were doing a great job still laughing a lot and keeping the fun into the project.
Oh, it's because the yeet is too strong. Power needs to be like 1.
The heat is too strong! Dan, are you recording this? This was great.
I'm recording this.
I'm turning off the house for now. So
It goes.
The heat is too strong. Love it.
After that, I spent a while making a score and time system, which would be used to record the time left, destroyed buildings and score gained. During that time I also started feeling the pressure of the time constraint and my code really suffered from it. My code became much more messy and it made things much harder in the long run. the thing finally worked, like you saw in the clip. Things got a little messy and I ended up just doing a lot of dumb stuff. But just like I said before, we were having a great time laughing at our mistakes, and at the time we fixed everything always and just continued. After that we went into polish mode, where we would be implementing better UI, text and different sprites and animations. This is actually where the having fun part died out for the last hours. We started colliding due to us not completely understanding how Unity Collab worked, and we ended up overwriting each other's progress a lot. Things started going slower and we had to repeat a lot of things we already did. I decided to keep the rest of this part out. The interesting things, what we learned out of it, are in the review at the end of the video. Luckily, I got the house destruction mechanic working right before everything started actually breaking. We also gave ourselves some more time again, cause development just takes a lot of time at the start and it's really hard to create an actual game with nice mechanics in such a short amount of time. Around the end of the 4-hour jam, plus 1 hour of development, we finished a really nice game. Obviously it's not done yet, but we will spend some more time outside the jam finishing the final touches of the game. The end result will be shown at the end of the video after the outro. So, for the review, we did a great job narrowing the scope of our project and worked much more efficiently on priorities by yeeting any suggestions or comments out of the window and only focusing on the things that we actually were important. And after that we looked into the other things. Also, we had a lot of fun, which is really important in a game jam, but not too much of course, because there was also a lot of work to be done. But now the important stuff is coming. What did we do wrong and how could we improve? First of all, Unity Collab. We kept changing things at the top of the hierarchy, causing it to conflict with everything else in the hierarchy, because the hierarchy is the parent of all the things inside. So if we change one thing over there, everything has to become that when you pull the hierarchy. To prevent this, we could have made different separate game objects that serve as a container where we could work in so our pushes wouldn't influence the other person's part, which it did during our jam, which gave us a lot of problems. As a second working point, we should write more clean code. Normally if we were doing a jam on our own, we could just slap down as much code as possible, but the thing is, we work in a team. Meaning, if the things you wrote aren't clear, you will understand it over the duration of the jam, but your partner won't, causing way more loss in time than spending some extra minutes writing actual readable code with comments and actually decent names. Alright, this is the end of my devlog and review of the 2 practice jams for the GMTK Game Jam. When this video goes public, I'll be in the final sprint of the actual jam, and I have high hopes for it. Definitely subscribe if you want to see what this team can bring to the jam, as I think you will be in for a treat. I also have some great plans ready for myself involving the Brackies Game Jam, but more about that later. This is the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, definitely leave a like. I would love to hear some feedback in the comment sections below. And I hope I'll get to show you all of my amazing stuff next week. Have a nice day everyone. Also, the link to the second jam is in the description. It's a surprisingly fun game. And there's also links for everyone involving the team in the description below. Definitely check them out.